Voy a ir al doctor. Le dije a Mike que vamos a la playa. ¿Puedes llevar esto a la cocina? Hi, I'm Mariana with Spanish 55, and if you've been learning Spanish for a while now, you've probably come across this mysterious little letter. It's not an article, it's not just a sound. It's something way deeper than that. We already have an old video on the channel covering this topic, and the link is in the description box below. But today I just wanted to make a clearer explanation. So here we go. Let's get started. Alright, let's start with the basics. The personal is that little that you put before a person or a pet when they're the direct object in a sentence. And well, what's a direct object? It's easy. The direct object is a person or thing that receives the action of the verb. Let me give you a couple examples. Juan besó a Carla. Juan abrazó a Carla. Here, Carla is a direct object because she's the one receiving the kiss or the hug, and that's where the personal a comes in. So, is there a personal a in English? Great question. Nope. English doesn't have an equivalent to the personal a. It's unique to Spanish. Take this sentence, for example. Llamé a Mario. So in English, you would just say, I called Mario without anything before Mario. But in Spanish, you have to use the personal a. Now, let's get to the good part. When do you actually use it? If you want to keep mastering Spanish and dive deeper into little details like this, I highly recommend checking out Spanish 55 Coaching. You can schedule your first free consultation and start learning with personalized lessons today. Check out the link in the description box below to get started. Número 1. When the direct object is a person or a pet. This is the most important rule. If you're doing something to a person or a pet, you need the personal a, always. Here are some examples. Veo a mi amiga. Escucho a mi mamá. Voy a abrazar a mi perro. Número 2. When you're talking about animals you treat like people. Yup, if your pet is treated like a person, you give them a personal a. So, if you've ever named or talked about your pet like that, congratulations, your pet gets an A. So here's an example with an object. Voy a recoger a Betty del taller. So in this case, Betty is a car. So she's not a person, but hey, the name makes her special. Número 3. In questions. If the question includes quién or cuánto, you need to add the personal a. ¿A quién ves? ¿A cuántas personas conoces? But wait, what about places? Like, for example, voy a París. Hold up, this one is key. So you might be thinking right now, Mariana, why is there a personal a in voy a París if I'm not talking about a person? Well, here's the thing. Spanish uses a personal a not only for people, but also for places when you're moving towards them, especially cities and countries. In simple terms, the personal a is used when you're going to a place that you'll interact directly with. And even if the place isn't a person, it's treated as a destination for the verb action. For example, voy a París. Here, you're going directly to Paris. It's like the city is the object of the action, not just a location. And that's why you need to use a personal a. It's like saying, I'm heading to Paris for some quality time versus I'm just passing by. If you treat it like an action you're interacting with, it gets a personal a. Let's clear up some confusion. There are times when you don't need to use a personal a, and it's important to know these. You don't use the personal a with the verb tener unless you're physically holding someone. Tengo dos hermanos. ¿Tienes perro? But tengo a mi bebé en mis brazos. In this case, the personal a is used because you're physically holding the baby. When you use haber, like there is or there are, you don't need the personal a, even if the subject is a person. Hay muchas personas en la fiesta. No personal a needed. Okay, let's make this easy to remember with some fun examples. Veo a mi amigo en el parque. Escucho a mis padres hablar. ¿Vas a llamar a Juan? Now, when we're talking about things instead of people, we don't need to use the personal a. Veo la casa. Estoy mirando mi libro. See the difference? Time to avoid a couple of common mistakes. B, a, mi coche. Incorrect. B, mi coche. Correct. Remember, unless your car has a name and you're treating it like a person, no personal a is going to be needed. Also, don't forget to tune in to the Conquering Spanish podcast for more tips and tricks on mastering Spanish. It's full of stories from learners just like you, so you'll hear about how they've conquered challenges and reached fluency. You can find the link in the description as well. So now you have the personal a in your Spanish toolkit. Easy, right? If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Muchas gracias por ver este video y nos vemos a la próxima.